Hey, we're back for the third chapter in the Sharing a Six Pack with Metal Madness series here. Devon did me some cute little artwork. I don't know if that's what it's going to stay. I'm going to probably have an official thumb made up by Rick that I can just change each chapter when I do these. But I'm going to add a little twist to this going forward. I'm going to add a box set or two. I got one tonight for this series. And before we go on too far, I just wanted to say that somebody pointed out to me that Darcy, who I don't know personally, might have watched this channel once or twice back when I was watching a lot of metal videos, which I don't do very often anymore. Hardly ever, actually. If I may have seen his channel maybe 2 years ago or something like that. I know he's been on with Marty and Alan once or twice or something in that range. And so I know he does sort of a similar thing where he pulls 6 albums. Mine are completely at random. I don't know if he does that or not. I just completely pull these rando style, and then I don't listen to them. I kind of go with my memory of what the album is. So there are going to be some times where, you know, there's one in here I can talk about the band, but I really can't say much about the album because I don't remember a lot about it, which isn't a bad thing because this is a killer band, really killer discography. I just don't remember much about this particular album because I haven't listened to it in several years, which is kind of telling. You know, that's kind of what we do, isn't it? In the VC and whatnot, we kind of buy a lot of stuff, listen to it a little bit, and then move on. Some of our favorites stick with us, and some of the stuff, if we're catalog collecting, doesn't, and that's one of the ones that isn't. So we'll get there in a minute, but let's get started real quick here, because I do want to keep these in the 15-20 minute range, half hour at most. So first up, Lustmord. The place where the black stars hang. I got quite a few Lustmords. I don't have them all. There's a lot. Brian Williams, or Lustmord, B. Lustmord as he likes to put it on his CDs sometimes, is a dark ambient artist. I would say one of the earliest dark ambient artists. Although if you really want to get into like where's the origins of dark ambient come from, listen to Tangerine Dream Zeit. That is the dark ambient album of all time. My favorite Tangerine Dream, and probably where I feel dark ambient came to life. That was the first dark ambient album. But this haunting, dark, oppressive, claustrophobic, all of his works are kind of like, well, not all, but most of his works are like that. And this one, along with Heresy and some later stuff like others, man, it just doesn't get any danker, darker, and fearsome than this. Although I've been threatening to do a dark ambient sort of deep dive with all the artists that I have, like Atrium Carcery and Raison d'Etre and City's Last Broadcast and Trom and fuck, man, Yenpox and Call and all these things. I was super into dark ambient maybe 15, 20 years now. It's probably 25 years ago now. Got a shit ton of it. Thomas Kohner, Daikan, and Unverschämtes Gebet. I can't speak German, so whatever. Anyways, so this one came out in 1994 on Soleilmoon Records. I would say this is a great starting point, although any of his stuff is, well, not any, but a lot of his stuff, you could say it's similar. I mean, you could make that statement, although I don't think it is. But this shit, wickedly dark, wickedly fearsome, wickedly oppressive, claustrophobic, frightening, scary. Great stuff to put in the headphones and try and fall asleep to at night. If you do manage to do that, which I've done on occasion years back, you'll wake up kind of like fucking scared out of your mind. It's killer stuff. All right, next up, Chroma Key. Oops, upside down. Chroma Key by, Chroma Key is the band. Dead Air for Radios is the name of the album. It came out in December 16th, 1998 on Fight Evil Records. Chroma Key is Kevin Moore's band, and it's really just Kevin Moore. There's a little bit of Joey Vera on bass there. There is a guy I've never heard of, Tim Alexander, I think, on guitars, and Mark Zonder from Fate's Warning, Warrior, a whole bunch of things. A to Z now. He's in a band called that recently. Plays drums on it. And this is very kind of, Kevin has a unique voice that you just don't hear in rock or metal very often. It's almost kind of, if you've heard the OSI records with the ones he did with Portnoy and the ones that he's done then subsequently, that was only on the first one, where he did a lot of work with Jim Matheos from Fate's Warning. This isn't a rock or heavy metal album or even a hard rock album. It's super keyboard dominant. His voice and the sampling and the electronics make it really cool. I remember, I haven't listened to this in a while, Colorblind's the big song off of it. Even the Waves is really great. Undertow, the first three songs I remember being really, really, really cool. But this is kind of like downbeat electronica, but not all electronic. There's real drums on it, there's guitar here and there, there's bass on it. It's fucking cool stuff, man, but it's nothing like Dream Theater, and it's definitely not metal. All right, next up, Richard Barbieri, and I'm going to do something on Rich if I can manage to have the time. I'm going to try to do a Richard Barbieri solo kind of dive into his stuff, where it's probably just me talking about his stuff for a half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm hoping to maybe even get him to stop by and talk to me a little bit. But this is the keyboardist for Japan, Raintree Crow, Jansen Barbieri Karn, Dolphin Brothers with Tim Bonus. My goodness, there's tons of projects, but he's done a lot of solo albums since the early 2000s, and I think this is his very first one. Cool that he signed it for me at a PT show. But this album, super ominous, super cool, synthetic, all synth music. It's not like Tangerine Dream, it's not like Jarre, it's not that kind of stuff. It's more ambient, space head sort of stuff. Some of it sometimes has a jazzy leaning, like the later stuff. This one's a little more Japan-like in that it's, and Raintree Crow like that. It's a lot of different, how do I put this? Synth songs that really are kind of like songs without vocals on them. There's some vocal samples from his wife Suzanne on the first track, Nevada, and Nevada just is like epic, man. It starts out, it's just driving and intense and ominous and shit. Fear and Trembling is killer. Drops of Mercury is a really, really beautiful song. Red Square, I mean, this is like some of the most beautiful synth music I've ever heard. So if you're into that kind of thing, again, it's not like Tangerine Dream's later work where it sounds new agey. This is very far away from new age music. It's very much textural and ambient and spacey, and it's about the space in the music and the places where there aren't sounds. It's fucking an incredible album. He's got, I want to say, 5 or 6 solo albums now since '04, and this came out in '04 on Intact Records, and I don't see any information there, so I believe Richard did the producing and mastering and all that kind of good stuff, or whatever you want to call it. Third one, the Fixx, Calm Animals. I don't own a lot of Fixx. I have a greatest hits. They're kind of a greatest hits band for me, more or less, although in the 80s I loved this band. You know, stuff like Red Skies at Night and Stand or Fall, some of the best tunes from the 80s. But this one is a great album, man. This came out in 1989, February 7th, 89, on RCA and Beyond Records, and William Whitman was the producer. Never heard of that guy. Really cool. I love Cy Kernan's vocals on this. There's some really good guitar work on here by Jamie West Oram. And I think, for the most part, I think this band is generally still intact. I know Cy is there and Jamie's still there. I don't know about the other 3 guys. Great songs on here. And, you know, one of the things I was singing on a lot of these, and I may do that a little bit, you know, from here and again, like this album has so many, like, memorable vocal lines in it, like, I'm life, da-da-da-da. I don't know the words to it, but driven out, soul survivor, Great, great, great song. That was the hit off here. Subterranean's killer. Precious Stone's killer. Calm Animals is killer. Shred of Evidence is killer. World Weary is my favorite song in here. World Weary. Da 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 da. It's so cool. It's 80s music at the tail end of the 80s, but they were getting into, I don't know, I don't want to say prog, but they were getting into moving in a different direction and a little bit more experimental. It is not typical 80s stuff, and it's not, you know, one thing leads to the other. It's cooler than that. This is a really textural album. Love this album. It's really, really, every time I put this on, which I do fairly regularly, I know practically every song of the 11 songs. There's only like 3 songs on here I couldn't sing the melody to you from. All right, Zebra. This is a 2-for-1. This is a reissue on One Way Records. Came out in 2001. It's the reissue of No Tellin' Lies from '84, and '86 was 3.5. Again, you know, the first Zebra album, which was, I believe, at the time, the highest selling debut by a band on Atlantic Records in history. You know, has stuff like, you know, Who's Behind the Door, Tell Me What You Want, Just One More Chance. I mean, there's so many great songs on that album. What were they? They were kind of a Zeppelin-y hard rock band with keyboards, which is kind of like, sounds like, oh, that sounds lame. No, it was great. I love that first Zebra album, one of my favorite albums of all time. The second album, man, it kind of disappointed me. I didn't really love No Tellin' Lies. There's a couple good songs like, you know, Wait Until the Summer's Gone, Wait Until the Summer's Gone, or In the Middle of Winter for Bears. That's a great tune. Lullaby, a Lullaby. Da-da. Okay, so I know 3 songs on this album. The rest I couldn't tell you about. I just don't know what they sound like. But 3.5, the follow-up. And really, until like the early, I think the mid-2000s or late 2000s, it was their last album. They put a 4th album out that honestly isn't that great. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. But 3.5 is killer, man. Can't Live Without You. So good. He's Making You the Fool. So good. Time. That song is so good. Your Mind's Open. Another great one. Better Not Call Me. That's another great one. About to Make the Time. Oh, it's so fucking good. But I'm about to make the time. Hard Living Without You is another one I know. Isn't That the Way? That's the last song on there. So literally, I know 8 out of 10 tracks on this album. I know the melody, man. That's so cool that, you know, when songs stick with you like that, you know that's a markable good album. It says on here, visit Zebra on the web at www. Do people still call the internet the web? I guess they do. Yeah, so again, this came out. Rhino is involved with it. One Way Records. I don't know what that imprint is, but Zebra. First album, get it. Third album, get it. Second album, it's okay. Fourth album, But live, these guys are still great. They still go out and tour. Small. They came from Louisiana. That they do a lot of gigs like Louisiana area, the New York area. I don't know what Felix, Randy Jackson, and Guy Gelso do like other than this, because I can't imagine that they make Randy might make a decent living off of because of the, you know, the publishing stuff, but I can't imagine they make a shit ton of money. I just can't. And when they go out and play, they're playing a club, so they're playing to maybe a couple hundred people, probably more like, you know, if it's a weeknight, they maybe only doing, you know, 100 people or 150 people, which is a shame because Randy's one of the best singer and guitar players I have ever heard. I don't know why I do this to keep the air on me, so it's kind of weird. I apologize for that. I gotta fix that. Last one, other than the box set, Novembre, progressive black metal band from Italy. They've got probably about 6 or 7 albums out. I think this was the last one or the next to last one. This came out in 07. Where's it at? Where's my notes? I didn't write it down. Peacevilke Records, no producer. I think Carmelo, the lead singer and guitar player, did the production on this. I have to tell you, I don't remember a lot about this album, sadly. I know a lot about the band, or not a lot, but I know quite a bit about the band and their albums, you know, Classica, Materia, Novembre Waltz, you know, these are just the ones that are coming to me off the top of my head, but it's a killer black metal progressive band. You know, really killer black metal vocals, great guitar playing. I would say it kind of sounds like Opeth, like good period Opeth from like, you know, Morning Rise through, well, I like all Opeth, but you know, through until they got into the Prog stuff. This isn't proggy like Opeth, later Opeth became. This has still got prog elements, but it's way more aggressive, way more black metal-y, way more, a lot of cool vocal things that he does. He's got a great voice, a lot of vocal layering. Really killer band. Really, really, really killer band. Like, if you don't know Novembre, you should. I should know this album better. It's the one I got last, and I just don't remember it as much as some of the other ones. And as I said, the whole point of this is to yank 6 CDs and talk about them without digging back into the, you know, listening to them. And so lastly, I'm going to show a box set. And this is the Cult Love box set, which came out on Beggar's Banquet. I believe this came out in 2006, I want to say. I didn't look this one up. Comes with a... And I have tons of box sets, guys. Tons of box sets. Just a stupid amount of them. And so the only way to really show you them is, you know, and talk about them briefly is to pull 1 or 2 per episode here. So there you go. Love, probably still my favorite album by this band. I do like Electric, and I do like Sonic Temple, and I like the first album, but Dreamtime. But I really love this album. It's so psychedelic, and you know, really just such a cool fucking album that you know, yeah. If you don't know this album, you should. It's a classic. So there's a nice big booklet with it, and then it comes with 4 CDs, and it comes with the original album remastered, and then it's got, which is, where is it here? Right here. And they even do gatefolds, man, which is cool. Oh, shit. Hope that didn't interfere with my video. They even do gatefolds, which is really cool. This thing sounds amazing on this remaster. It's got, what else has it got? Let's see. There's the other material on the album. There's all the singles and B-sides. There's a live show on here, I believe. And, you know, several previously unreleased songs. There's Live 1985. And the singles, Rain. What else we got on here? She Sells Sanctuary, probably like 10 different versions of that. And lastly, what is this one? Oh, the demos, which is cool because there's number 13, which wasn't on the album, Little Face, which wasn't on the album. But man, this album has so many good songs on it, like All Souls Avenue, Brother Wolf, Sister Moon, Hollow Man, Big Neon Glitter, yeah, yeah. Nirvana, every day, Nirvana. Revolution, there's a revolution. Of course, you know, She Sells Sanctuary, All Souls Avenue. I love this band. Love Ian Astbury. Love his vocals. Love Billy's. Billy. Oh fuck, I forgot his last name. Billy's guitar playing on this is killer. Christ, I forgot his fucking name. The shit's getting me here. It also has a song on here. Christians, it wasn't on the Go West is on here. Spirit Walker, Horse Nation, Phoenix, Phoenix rising higher. Killer album, and this is kind of the ultimate set. If you love this band, you probably should get this album because it's so goddamn good. No doubt, that is a killer box set. I don't know if this is available anymore. My gut tells me it's not, because I think this came out in the early 2000s. I think you can find it on eBay, and it's probably Spicy or Discogs. But man, the Cult Love, what a fucking badass album. This is Honestly, no joke. This is probably a top 15 album for me of all time. I just love this album. So there you go. A 6-pack plus 1. And we'll try to do these, you know, till people say stop fucking loading your site up with these. I don't want to oversaturate, but at the same time, the reality of it is that I'm not gonna have a lot more time to do these. So there is a Agalok deep dive coming up, I think, on Friday. Might try to do Yob at some point, maybe. Devon and I are going to try to tackle Gorguts early next week, if not this weekend. So you're going to get a lot of stuff on here, and whether you choose to watch it, whether you want to watch it or not, that's up to you. I had twice now. I've had somebody show up, same guy, on my stream on Friday night, and then last night on Metal Ben's stream. Some dude came in and he said that, you know, you're not sick. You can't get on YouTube if you're that sick and you're dying. And it's like, dude, look at my eyelids. Look how fucked up my eyelids are. This is my eyeballs are dying from improper blood flow. You can see my eyes are always bloodshot like fuck. I don't have to justify shit to those kind of people, but the truth is, you know, I'm very, very ill. It's not something they can treat. It's not something they can fix. It's neurological. It is what it is. I'm not here garnering sympathy. I'm not here asking people to like set up a GoFundMe or to give me their money or to send me, you know, albums or CDs or shit like that. I've been very fortunate that a couple very generous people like Rick and Jake and Brian and Devon and Marty have sent me cool stuff, but I'm not begging. I'm just here talking about my music and my music collection and hopefully turning people onto stuff. But the reality of it is it's not going to last much longer at all. So I'm kind of dumping a lot of stuff onto the channel so that, you know, my kids have some things to look back on and my friends have some shit to look back on. And let's be honest, in a couple months, nobody's going to give a fuck. You know, that's the reality of it. That's how life is. You may remember me, or people may remember me, or people may, you know, friends of mine may remember me and shit, but nobody's going to be digging back into this stuff. So, you know, to have people come on and fuck with you and say you're not sick and all that, I don't even get that, man. I just don't get it. Why would I be lying about something like this, as horrible as it is? Yeah, I took some time off for 3 months because I just was starting to really feel bad, and that was a mistake. I wish I hadn't done that. So now I'm dumping a lot of shit on you, and I apologize for it. And I'm also almost at 23 minutes, and I want to stop. So, again, Darcy, I apologize if I stole your idea. I didn't mean to. I think our collections might have a lot of similarities, but probably a lot of vast differences. And it was the only way I could start throwing out stuff to let people see what I collect and what I'm about and some of my opinions on music. And you know, you're going to probably see some jazz in here and maybe even some pop. And some box sets I have, like the Bee Gees and ABBA and stuff like that. So it's kind of a wide encompassing thing, and I'm riffing on it. It's no big edit jobs. It's not a professional deal. I don't have the ability to do that. You know, physically, I don't think I could concentrate to do that stuff. All this is extemporaneous anyway, so it's kind of like off the top of my head. So I hope you enjoy these, and we'll see if we get another couple out next week. All right. So if you're not doing anything Friday night, and again it has to be Friday night because of the other guys' schedules, stop by and see us do the Agalok studio albums and EPs with Jimmy from Future Ruins. I've got Eli from Hymns from the Dark North. No shit. Dark Hymns from the Cold North, I think. Sorry, Eli, I forget that one. And I got Logan from Drunken Metal Musings YouTube channel. And Logan's been a buddy the last couple months on some of the streams. You'll recognize him. So, yeah, that's where we're at. And also, I do have a thumb that I said I'm going to use for this that Devon did. And he did his best because he's using an app on his phone. So I appreciate it, Devon. All right. Anyways, guys, peace out.